Dear students, hello! Today we will speak about a very interesting instrument, strategic management, strategic group mapping. You are very lucky if your company has not very big quantity of competitors, just several, for example. In this very case, it will be rather easy to evaluate influence to your company from every competitor. But what you have to do if there are a lot of competitors? The answer to this question is rather obvious. You have to group them into groups, and then it will be much easier for you to conduct analysis of these groups instead of competitors. And today we will speak how to do it in the most convenient way. Strategic group consists of rivals which has similar competitive approaches and positions in the market. What could be similar? It could be comparable product lines. It could be the same rate of vertical integration. For example, you can divide all enterprises to the first group, which has some vertical integration, parts of vertical integration strategy, for example, backward integration supplies, and to the firms which don't have it. It could be similar services or technical assistance. Somebody, for example, sells some equipment without installing, and some firm provides not only selling some equipment, but also installing it and maybe even after-sales service. It could be same product attributes. It could be same distribution channels. For example, some firms could have own shops. It is vertical integration forward. It could be also identical technological approaches. It could be same level of price and quality. So the next question: how many strategic groups must be after your analysis? Theoretically, it could be possible to have only one strategic group if all companies have everything the same. But in this very case, it's not a good idea to use such characteristics. Or vice versa, it could be as many strategic group as you have competitors. It is also not very useful situation for you, because from this strategic group mapping, it's not possible to have some outcomes. It's not easier for you to conduct analysis of such big quantity of strategic group. That's why the best solution for you, if you have after strategic group mapping, if you have several, from I would say from 4 to 10 strategic groups. How to build a map of strategic group? First of all, you have to identify characteristics which differentiate firms in the industry. At the screen you can see some typical characteristics, but you have to think about your own industry. Then you have to take 2 of them, and then you have to put some firm or competitors in this strategy, in this map, and then you have to plot circles around every strategic group, and as a result, you can see something like this. Something like this. This example is taken from Thompson and Strickland strategic management. Actually, frankly speaking, outcomes from this map of strategic group are not very useful. We will speak a little bit later why, but generally, you after the conducting the analysis, you have to see something like this. General rules of this type of analysis. First, this pair of characteristics shouldn't be highly correlated. It would be very good if these two characteristics, are not interdependent. If you take some characteristics which are highly correlated, you will see the picture like this. For example, if you take price and quality, you will see some line from strategic groups, and it is obvious, it's clear to understand that no strategic group will be situated in the left up corner and in the right down corner. So the empty place in this strategic group map doesn't mean that it's possible to use it for your strategy. You are welcome to use price or quality or the level price and quality as one characteristics, but no way to use price and quality as two characteristics. Then you have to take some characteristics which really mean some differences, some crucial differences, and with the help of which it is possible to divide your rivals into separate groups. Third, you don't have to use discrete variables, even if you have you don't have to use continuous variables. Sorry, it's my mistake. You have to use discrete variables. What does it mean? It means that you have to divide scale. For example, if you take prices as a one scale, you have to divide it into some intervals, and then you have to describe every interval. It is crucial to describe every interval. Fourth, you have to plot a circle, and the radius of the circle must be correlated with the volume of sales of these strategic groups. And the last, what you have to do, theoretically, you can find more than two variables. Is it possible? Yes, it is a typical situation, and in this very case, you have to build more than one map of strategic groups. But for your task, you have to build only one map of strategic groups. That's why even if you find more than two characteristics which can be used as two dimensions of map of strategic group, please take two most important from them. And the general outcomes from the map of strategic group. The closer strategic groups are to each other, the stronger competitive rivalry in this very part of the market. And at the end of today's lecture, I'd like to show you some examples which were built by students of previous years. At this picture, you can see the strategic group mapping for sources. This student took as first dimension the packaging, dye pack, glass bottles and dye pack, and some ecologically clean packages. And as second dimension here, or she, frankly speaking, I don't remember, the student took the type of products, only ketchups, some sauces, and the third group is diabetic products. So here it is possible to see that there is, for example, empty place that only one firm, Chumak, produced some sauces for diabetic. Uh, all these, I'd like to add that all these maps built from 1 to a couple of years ago, so it could be situation that, for example, some other producer add some product. That's why this map of strategic group is not true anymore. But for that period of time, it was true. The next strategic group mapping was provided for some equipment for shops. It is at the left part of the screen you can see some refrigerators. So the student took as the first dimension the type of selling. It could be just selling or selling with installation or also with some service, after selling service. And as the second, as a vertical dimension, the student took types of settings, wall-mounted, island, or desktop. From this map of strategic group, it is quite clear that nobody sells desktops with installation or with after-sale service. That's why it could be, in this very case, it must be conducted the analysis of clients, and if they demand this service, it could be provided, and it could be some additional source for competitive advantage. At this map of strategic group, you can see the market of mineral water. The student took product quality, taking into account useful properties of some water, and brand identification and mind of customers. Uh, here, uh, here you can see the strategic group mapping for constructing, and here you can see the strategic group mapping for Hazeline station. So, more detailed information as usual is provided in your presentation, where you can look at every strategic group mapping, and your task is to build yours. Thank you for watching. See you.